True, nervous. Very, very dreadfully nervous I had been and am. But why will you say that I am mad? The disease had sharpened my senses, not destroyed, not dulled them. Above all was the sense of hearing. I heard all things in heaven and in the earth. I heard many things in hell. So how could I be mad? It was the eye, yes, the eye of the old man, pale blue eye with a film over it. Whenever it fell upon me, my blood ran cold. And so, little by little, I made up my mind to take the life of the old man and free myself forever from the eye. You would have laughed to see how cunningly I went to work. Every night, about midnight, I turned the latch of his door and opened it. Oh, so gently. And then, when I had made an opening, I put in a dark lantern. It was closed, so no light shone out. And then I thrust in my head. Oh, you would have laughed to see how stealthy I moved. For 7 long nights I did this. And each night, when I looked upon the eye, it was closed. And so I could not do the work, for it was not the old man who vexed me, but his evil eye. On the 8th night, I was more than usually cautious. Never before had I felt the extent of my own powers, of my sagacity. I could scarcely contain my feelings of triumph. He moved in the bed. "Who's there?" he said. I kept still, saying nothing. For a whole hour, I did not move a muscle. And then, a single thin ray from my lantern fell upon the eye. It was open. Wide, wide open. And my blood boiled. I heard a low, dull, quick sound. Much such a sound as a watch makes when enveloped in cotton. The old man's heart. It grew quicker. Louder, louder. Every instant the sound increased. The hellish tattoo of the heart drove me to fury. Louder, I say, louder. And still the old man sat up, listening. The noise was unbearable. I thought the heart must burst. A new anxiety seized me. The sound would be heard by a neighbor. The old man shrieked once, only once. In an instant I dragged him to the floor and pulled the heavy bed over him. The heart was still. The old man was stone dead. I removed the bed and examined the body. Yes, he was stone dead. I took up 3 planks from the floor and deposited him between the joists. Then I replaced the boards so cleverly, so cunningly, no human eye could detect anything wrong. There was no stain, no blood. I had been too wary for that. When I had finished, it was 4 o'clock, still dark as midnight. Just then, a knocking came at the street door. 3 men entered, officers of the police. A shriek had been heard by a neighbor. I smiled. For what had I to fear? I bade the gentlemen welcome. The old man, I said, had gone to the country, took them through the house, led them to his chamber. I brought chairs into the room and desired them to rest from their fatigues. They sat, and I sat with them. The officers were satisfied. My manner had convinced them. But ere long, I felt myself growing pale. I wished them gone. My head ached. And still they sat and chatted. There came to my ears a low, dull, quick sound. Such a sound as a watch makes when enveloped in cotton. I gasped for breath. It grew louder, louder, louder. I talked more quickly, more vehemently, but the noise steadily increased. I paced the floor to and fro with heavy strides, as if excited to fury by the observation of the men. The noise steadily increased. Oh God! What could I do? It grew louder, louder, louder. And still the men chatted pleasantly and smiled. Was it possible they heard not? Almighty God! No, they heard. They suspected. I knew. They were making a mockery of my horror. I could bear those hypocritical smiles no longer. I felt that I must scream or die. Again, louder, 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 louder. Villains! I shrieked. Dissemble no more. I admit the deed. Tear up the planks. Here. It is the beating of his hideous heart.